Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Ready to go.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Tara Broderick here at RSBN, and in just a few short moments, President Trump will be the keynote speaker at Susan B. Anthony 11th Annual Campaign for Life Gala. Now, this is being held at the National Building Museum in Washington, D.C. Now, last year it was Vice President Mike Pence that spoke at the gala, but this year is obviously going to be President Trump, and he has done several things for the pro-life initiative. And just one of them being, I'm sure he'll talk about tonight, was restoring the Mexico City policy. So this bars federal funding of abortion providing entities overseas. So that's just one of the many things he has done just since he's been president. And also, in January, he became the first sitting president to address the March for Life rally. He gave his remarks from the satellite from Rose Garden of the White House. So he's done a lot of things for pro-life, and hopefully in maybe 3 minutes or so, he's usually pretty late on things like this, he'll give his speech. Joe, do you know anything that he's going to talk about, or do you have any comments about it?
Hi, by the way, I'm Joe Seals, the CEO, and now I guess a producer and a host of Right Side Broadcasting. It's always a pleasure to be on the air with you, Tara, and this is sort of our new format, and we are rolling it out. Going to be improving every day. If we have a few hiccups here and there, it's because I am not a good multitasker. And now I'm producing as well as trying to do what Tara does. But now, President Trump has been consistently pro-life since he took office. A lot of conservatives were skeptical of him when he ran as a Republican candidate, that he would be pro-life. But everything that he has said and done so far in his presidency has been consistent for the pro-life cause, and I think that it's great that he is going to this event tonight. I remember when Pence spoke at it last year, and President Trump during the campaign talked about he used to be pro-choice, and I think that's why a lot of people were skeptical. But there was a friend of his who had a situation. I can't remember exactly the situation, but it changed his whole viewpoint on it, and so. He has proven true to his word, so I'm looking forward to hearing what he has to say tonight.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people have commented saying that the Susan B. Anthony organization wasn't for Trump, and they were telling specifically Iowa voters to not vote for Trump and all of this stuff. But from my research that I've done today, the president of the organization actually said, "We are honored to receive him at our annual Campaign for Life Gala." She said, "Unborn children, their mothers, and pro-life taxpayers could not have a stronger ally in the White House than President Trump, and we look forward to the many victories we can achieve together." So I have read and researched nothing but good things. That they're very excited to have him. He is obviously very pro-life, and like I said before, he has went through and he has started so many initiatives. Like, I literally have a list here that is very long. I sent it to Joe earlier of everything that he's done just since he's been in office for pro-life. So I'm hoping he'll talk about some of those things tonight.
Sorry, I forgot the audio again. We do expect the president to speak any moment now. It's 7:30 Eastern time on the East Coast and 4:30 out west, and we expect the president to be making his way to the podium shortly. Scheduled for 7:30 tonight, but these things do sometimes run a little bit late, as you know, so we're keeping our eye on it. And we now have the ability here at RSBN, and we're going to be, again, for those who missed our stream earlier today, we're going to be featuring multiple different new programs. We're having lots of original programming come back. We're going to have a morning show as well as an evening news wrap-up show here on RSBN so that you can see and hear the news in real time. We have the ability now to, as we're sitting here talking, we can immediately switch to any live feed that comes in to us from anywhere and show you in real time and not have to create a separate stream for it. So we're really excited about that. Also, today we introduced our newest reporter, Alyssa Ass. If you missed that stream, you can go back and see it on our YouTube channel or go to our website, rsbnetwork.com.
Yes, absolutely. We're very excited to have Alyssa. And Joe, you just just tell me when President Trump comes up to the podium to speak, because I do not have the stream pulled up. But until he does, I just want to talk about some of the things that he's done, like some of my research I found today. First of all, he said in his 2016 campaign that he promised to nominate pro-life justices to the U.S. Supreme Court, and he has done that. He said in his final presidential debate, he said, "I am pro-life, and I will be appointing pro-life judges." And he's made significant progress on this. And that was just one of the things. He appointed pro-life judges. He has permitted states to defund Planned Parenthood. Now, back in the Obama era, this was... Sorry, I forgot I lost my train of thought. In the Obama era, rule this disbarred states from doing so, and President Trump has tried to reverse that. Starting back in April 2017, he said that, let's say, Congress sent a bill to President Trump's desk that permits states to defund Planned Parenthood. Why can I not talk today? Planned Parenthood family planning funds passed in Congress. President Trump signed the bill, which reverses the Obama-era rule that disbarred states from doing so. He also has required health insurance companies to disclose if they cover abortion. He has appointed strong pro-life appointments to key positions. And this just includes, Vice President Mike Pence, Attorney General Jeff Sessions, Counselor to the President Kellyanne Conway. There's a whole list of others. Let's see. He also allowed states to defund Planned Parenthood of Medicaid funds. So, once again, back in the Obama administration, they attempted to prevent these states from defunding Planned Parenthood because they thought it might be a violation of federal law. But in January of 2018, the Trump administration rescinded this guidance, allowing states to defund Planned Parenthood of Medicaid dollars as they see fit. And those are just a few of the things that I found in my research today. So I'm just very interested to see what else he's going to talk about. I'm sure he'll talk about a few of these things. And I just want to know, he hasn't been president for that long. I want to know what else he has in store for, pro-life initiatives.
Absolutely. And Tara, we now have a shot of the podium up live from Washington, D.C. at the event there where President Trump will be speaking any minute now. So as soon as he makes his way to the podium, we will go to that in real time. So we do want to say a few things as well about next week. President Trump is having a rally in Nashville, Tennessee. We are very excited to be there, this time with a full crew. We've never been to a rally before with 4 different reporters or 4 crew members. So this time it's going to be fun. We have Tara who will be going, and we have Tom O'Neill, a chat room favorite, and we also have our newest reporter, Alyssa Ash, and also we have Liz Willis, who is the veteran of the group now. Liz will be joining us, and she is now back from Brazil. And we'll also have our wonderful cameraman, Aaron Pangio. So we will be traveling there on Monday of next week. And this time, I think we have internet at the venue, so we should have a pretty good feed for you on Tuesday night. So if you'd like to support us and help us get there, it really helps. Sending 5 people to this event is going to cost me a lot of money. So if you want to donate to us and help us and continue our coverage, you can do so by donating in the chat box, down below the chat box, clicking on the $ in the super chat, or you can donate to us at rsbnetwork.com/donate. Or Tara, what's the third way?
Patreon.com/RSBN.
That is it. So we're going to listen in.
And I think more reporters we have at the events, the better it's going to be. So
I certainly think it'll be fun, Tara. And we're actually, let's go to the podium right now and listen. I believe this is Kathy Ireland who's speaking right now. I'm not entirely sure, but let's just listen in for a few seconds here to what she has to say.
Opportunities in front of us. For everything Marjorie has done to advance the cause of life and promote strong women in office, we thank her. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming my hero, Marjorie Dannon Felser.
She grew up on the side of the road where the church bells ring and strong love grows. She grew up slow. like American.
Boy, Kathy towers in every single way. Miss Mike. Before I do you know what, introduce a certain guy, I'd like to show you in a short video what you have helped produce at the Susan B. Anthony list, which is a perfect continuation of the beauty that you saw in the video that Kathy produced. So cue the video.
We know that life is the greatest miracle of all. Under my administration, we will always defend the very first right, the right to life.
We've been working very carefully on the 4 commitments that the Trump-Pence ticket made to the pro-life movement: to defund Planned Parenthood, to nominate only pro-life Supreme Court justices and federal judges, to protect taxpayer funds from abortion through the Hyde Amendment, and to pass the pain-capable bill, that 20-week ban on abortion. We do have a pro-life presidency, we've got a pro-life House, we have almost a pro-life majority in the Senate. Almost isn't enough, though. The Senate matters because the Supreme Court matters. We have an opportunity, the best in 45 years since Roe versus Wade. The only way to determine the makeup of the Senate is that voters in Senate battleground states get to work. Voter mobilization this November is everything.
Elections matter. Elections have tremendous consequences. We've seen that in this last election. So that is why Susan B. Anthony is so effective. They get things done.
We so appreciate Susan B. Anthony list because they are grassroots. We've got a real job on our hands. We do not want to slip back, especially when we have a president who is willing to work with us on pro-life issues.
The Susan B. Anthony list has the largest ground game in the nation when it comes to turning out voters to the polls on Election Day. We began our field operation last summer with canvassers visiting homes in the battleground states of Ohio, Florida, Indiana, and Missouri. We have more than 500 canvassers on the ground in those states. They've already visited more than 1 million homes. We are poised to expand into 4 additional states: Montana, North Dakota, West Virginia, and Wisconsin, where additional vulnerable pro-abortion senators must be defeated. If funding permits, our team will grow to more than 1,000 canvassers before Election Day, and we will visit a record 2 million homes to locate and motivate inconsistent pro-life voters who might otherwise stay home.
The Susan B. Anthony model really works. They will knock on doors, they will send out mail-outs, they're a persuasive group.
In my last Senate race, Susan B. Anthony volunteers knock on almost 50,000 doors. Those feet on the street made a big difference, and it was great to see.
We won by about 48,000 votes. And if you take a look at the number of doors that Susan B. Anthony list knocked on, it was the difference maker.
Most Americans are with us on the issues. They overwhelmingly oppose late-term abortion, taxpayer-funded abortion, and a radical pro-abortion agenda. However, they may not realize how critical this election is to the future of unborn children, or how extreme their senator's record is. By delivering this message personally at their homes, we increased voter turnout on average by 6.6%. We are on the verge of revolution when it comes to Roe versus Wade, and that is because there is a strong possibility that we'll have at least one opening on the Supreme Court. The most important thing that can happen this election is that voters elect senators who will confirm a Supreme Court justice who will be the final vote to overturn Roe versus Wade. And what will happen at that point? It will mean that finally our nation is free to pass laws that will save the lives of unborn little girls and boys who are intended for this world. It's worth every bit of fundraising, every blood, sweat, and tear, every moment on our knees, lobbying in the Capitol and in the U.S. Senate. It's worth it all for one particular reason. The life of one unborn boy, one unborn girl is so valuable, and it's worth every single minute of it. Thank you. So let us clear our throat. We need about 60 seconds, and I'll be right back.
All right, so if you're just joining us, you are watching live at the podium there at an event in Washington, D.C., where President Trump is about to give a speech at the Susan B. Anthony List 11th Annual Campaign for Life Gala. I am Joe Seals, the CEO of Right Side Broadcasting, and apparently now an anchor, and I am joined by my partner in crime in our Studio B in Birmingham, Tara Broderick. What's new, Tara?
You know, nothing much. We're just hanging out here in Birmingham. And Joe, I want to take a minute and say that you're doing an amazing job. A lot of people don't realize how much multitasking you are doing right now. He's producing, he is anchoring, he's doing what I'm doing. He's doing like 10 jobs right now. So if we have slip-ups, just bear with us. But Joe's doing great. And honestly, I don't know when President Trump's going to start speaking. So we're just winging this right now. But something I found out earlier that I did want to mention, that not only is he giving a speech, but there's going to be a couple awards given at the event, and the White House spokesman and counselor to the president will both receive the group's 2018 Distinguished Leader Award at the event.
That is cool. Very cool. Yeah.
Fun fact.
Yeah, Tara, you take it away for just another minute while I'm getting our little three-way split screen up so we can see the podium and us at the same time.
Alrighty. Well, like Joe said earlier, that we will be in Nashville on Tuesday. I was reading the chat briefly while the video was playing, and some people were asking where and when is the next rally. We're going to be in Nashville on Tuesday, and it's going to be me and Liz and Alyssa, our newest reporter, and Tom O'Neill. Everyone loves Tom. And then our cameraman's going to be Aaron, of course, because he's awesome. So we're super excited for that. And I'm excited to go to Nashville because it's not that far from me. It's like a 3-hour drive from Birmingham, so I'm just going to drive up there, and everyone says, hey, y'all, like I do, and people talk like me, so it's going to be a fun time. And I think Alyssa's going to be great at it. If you're watching this right now, Alyssa, we're super excited to have you. And I don't know, I'm just excited to go. I think, you know, this would be my 3rd rally. That's insane to say because I feel like literally last week was my 1st one. We're flying through these rallies, and there's going to be so many more since midterms are coming up. So the more rallies, the better. The more reporters, the better. The more, the better. We're just going to have a great time. So I'm excited to see how this one's going to go. The other ones, the past 2 I've been to, have been northern states. And so, I don't know. I'm excited to see how he handles the South and what he says and how he changes to the crowd, because I feel like the crowds are definitely going to be different. Different people, different scenery. It's going to be
we were actually at this
time
venue about a year ago. I think it was March of 2017, where we were in Nashville at the same venue at the municipal auditorium there, and it was packed. It was packed. And if you're just joining us right now, you're looking live at the podium there at the Susan B. Anthony List 11th Annual Campaign for Life Gala, where President Donald J. Trump will take the podium very shortly and give remarks. We're awaiting that. And now we have our fancy new graphic on the screen where we can see Miss Tara on the left, me in the center, and of course the podium on the right. We hope to get you that speech soon, but as you know, these things do sometimes run a little bit late. But hey, we'll hang around with you until the president speaks.
Yeah, and while we do that, I'm going to pull up the chat, which I haven't done lately, but I'm going to pull it up and just see what people are saying, what y'all are chatting about, if y'all are excited about Nashville like I am. And I just said y'all like 3 times in a row because that's how excited I am for Nashville. I think it's going to be a great time. Let's pull it up here and see.
And so as we're waiting on Tara there, we are awaiting President Trump now in Washington, D.C. I have a reason to believe that he is the next speaker up. This speech was scheduled for 15 minutes ago, but they have run a little bit late there. They just showed a video. Some of the accomplishments that President Trump has done so far as he's been in office for the pro-life cause, and that's been quite a few things. He's been consistently pro-life, and something that maybe a lot of conservatives did not believe that he would be when we elected him. But so far he's been consistently pro-life, and I think that's one of the things that You know, people in the conservative movement, especially the pro-life people, are very pleased at a lot of the things that he's done. And showing up tonight to this event and giving a speech is going to be another highlight of his accomplishments as well. And so they just played a video sort of highlighting everything that he has done for the pro-life cause, and I thought that was pretty interesting. But Tara, you got that info on Nashville there?
Yes, I'm pulled up. We do have a donation from Carl Peterson. He said RSBN simply the best.
Yeah.
Thank you, Carl Peterson.
Carl
I see your donations
Carl is.
And we're very thankful for
Carl's one of the. I said Carl's one of the.
Sorry, Joe. Go ahead.
The original Right Side OGs. He's like been there with us for a long time, and we love Carl. He's a good guy. And just by the way, just for those people who. When I said I was going to be an anchor and you expected me to show up in a shirt and a tie or a suit or something like that with no ball cap on, you were dreaming, because you're never going to get. No, if you want to see me without a ball cap, come to church on Sunday and then you'll see me. But otherwise, this is what you're going to get. We're not the talking heads on the mainstream media. This is a new way of delivering news. If somebody in a shirt and tie or a suit and tie is what you want to see. There's plenty of ways there's plenty of other outlets where you can find that, but here you're just going to get me, and I am going to try to make the studio back behind me a little bit more prettier though for my broadcast. I think that would be great. So, but Tara looks pretty. So let's just y'all just look at her for a little while.
Oh, I think it's hilarious. I haven't been at Right Side long, but
you've seen pictures of me. You've seen pictures of me.
I've seen pictures.
I ain't lost all my hair yet. I still got a little bit up there.
I feel like wearing the hat, though, is not going to help.
I suppose.
It's just going to make your hair fall out faster, but whatever.
So.
But like he said, he wears his hat and his T-shirts because that's who he is, and I feel like that just reflects who Right Side, like who we are at Right Side. We're real, we're personable. Joe doesn't want to go up there in a tie, so he doesn't, and of course he's a CEO, so he can do what he wants. But that just reflects how real we are, and that's why I love Right Side.
The first time that we ever covered breaking news live on air was Steve Luckner, and I will say, Steve Luckner was the pioneer of this kind of coverage, and helping. So the viewer helping us cover the news. And so the first time we ever covered a live breaking news was when there was a bomb or something at an airport. Steve goes live on air. He's wearing a zip-up hoodie sweatshirt and a T-shirt in a studio. And we end up getting like 20,000, 30,000 views off that stream. And that's when I say, you know what? Things are changing. And I think that we'll be able to... I think we might be onto something here. Real people giving the news, we don't pretend to be Fox or MSNBC or any of those people. We're just us. And I'm not going to dress up and play the part of a news anchor. That's why I have Tara, who is dressed to play the part, and I have other people as well. So I'm just going to be me. And if you're just joining us, if you're just joining us, Tara, we're still waiting on President Trump right now. He still isn't there. This event was supposed to happen about 20 minutes ago, but we will continue to talk until he gets to the podium, and we'll also be back right after. So.
Yep. I was just going to say, though, I'm dressed to play the part now, but I swear if something ever happens at 3 a.m. where I have to be here, I will not look like this. I'm going to come straight out of bed and whatever. It's just going to be real, but I'll be here giving the news.
Yes, I warned Tara when she started. I said, you might have to get up at 3 a.m. a few times. So don't get mad at me if you have to. I think Luckner pulled a few all-nighters, but that's just his nature. Me and Tara aren't like that. So, but if we have to get up, and I promise you, we will be here, and we will make sure you have your breaking news. So, all right. So,
absolutely, we have another donation from Dave Harvey. Thank you, Dave.
Yes, Dave. Thank you very much, sir. Very much appreciated. And again, Right Side is 100%. Well, not 100%. We get a few dollars of ad revenue here and there, but Right Side is completely, for the most part, viewer supported. we're actually a real YouTube channel, and you're looking again to my to my right over here. You are over here. You are watching a live show at the podium as we await President Trump. But we're actually a real company. We're not just a YouTube channel. So we actually go to events. I have employees. We go across the country, follow the president wherever he goes. We have original programming. We do things. We actually are on camera, and we're out there on the front lines fighting for you. As you might remember, we, during the campaign, worked with President Trump's campaign, and we helped President Trump reach 300 plus million viewers during the campaign. We pioneered live streaming on his Facebook page and helped him to reach voters and to bypass the mainstream media. We have been out on the front lines fighting for this since the very beginning. And it's only with your support we're able to continue, because we don't take big chunks of money from investors or donors, because we want to be able to control what happens on our network. And that's exactly what you'll get. What we do here is completely viewer supported. We answer to you and you alone. So if you can support us, there are 3 ways to donate, which will do things like help us get to that rally next week in Nashville, Tennessee, which is going to cost us quite a bit of money. And Tara's going to tell you how you can donate.
Okay, so if you're in the YouTube chat, you can go down to the bottom and click the $sign. Keep in mind that YouTube does take 30% for some reason. If you want us to get the full amount, then go to rsbnetwork.com/donate, or you can be a monthly donator at patreon.com/RSBN. And any and all donations help. And if you missed our broadcast we did earlier today, where we introduced Alyssa, our newest reporter and anchor, and we
Sarah, I'm going to have to break in right now because we have President Trump live now in D.C. So we'll see you back here in a little bit.
I'll finish my thoughts later.
We introduce to you tonight a man who has led as he campaigns, who has been as good as his word in fighting for life. A man who is worth fighting for because they are worth fighting for.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Marjorie. Thank you, Marjorie, for that wonderful introduction. All my friends are out.
Rocking and rolling.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, that wasn't terrible.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Please.
Yeah. Don't speak for an hour. Okay, I'm going to take notes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So nice. And I'm thrilled to be here tonight at the very first, and as the very first president, to address this incredible group of people. I have a lot of friends in the audience. They are incredible people. And I'd also like to thank the Susan B. Anthony List chairwoman, Jane Abraham, and her husband, the Honorable Spence Abraham, for hosting this beautiful gala. Thank you both. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Beautiful job. And we're also very glad to be joined by many wonderful members of Congress, including the legend from Louisiana, very brave guy, Steve Scalise. Where's Steve? Where's Steve? Hi, Steve. So I was going to ask all members of Congress to stand, but there's a short list. We have to do this, right? They're fighting for you all the time, right? Don't you think? All right. You have Steve. Steve, stand. You have no problem standing. This guy's in better shape than all of us. Kevin Brady. Where's Kevin? What a man he is. Thank you. Thank you, Kevin. Steve Daines. Steve Daines. Hi, Steve. Thank you, Steve. Great. Where's Roger Wicker? Roger. Roger. Right. You know, the problem with this, Roger, we're guaranteed to leave a few out, and they'll never speak to me again, but that's okay. We'll have you stand if I did that. A man who has been so incredible on television to me, Andy Biggs, Congressman. Andy Biggs. Where's Andy? Thank you, Andy. Now I don't have to call you and thank you. Thank you, Andy. Marcia Blackburn. Marcia, good luck. Will hopefully be our next senator from the great, great, great state of Tennessee. Good. And I just saw some great numbers on you, by the way. Where's Steve Shabrat? Where's Steve? Steve. Steve. How are you, Steve? Been help. Kevin Kramer, who's leading. He's leading in his Senate race. Kevin, where's Kevin? Kevin, you're leading. You know, we have a lot of people that are leading these races, and a number just came down from Reuters. You know, we were, a few months ago, 16 down in the generic poll, whatever that's supposed to mean, because nobody really knows what it means. But all I know is we were 16 down. Reuters just came out 2 hours ago, and we're 1 up. That's a big difference. And they say that to win, we have to be like, if we're 6 down, we're in okay shape. Well, we're 1 up. That's pretty good. So that's for the senators and for the congressmen and women. So that's it. But you're doing fantastic, Kev. Sean Duffy. Where's Sean? Where's Sean? Thank you, Sean. Great job. Ron Estes. Ron. Thank you, Ron. Jeff Fortenberry. Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. Good job. A friend of mine for a long time, Virginia Fox. Virginia. Thanks, Virginia. Representative and Mrs. Gregg. Okay, where's Susan? Susan Gianforte. Where is he? Boy, he is a good campaigner. Great job. Great job. Thank you, Susan. Representative and Mrs. Andy, you know, they wrote this out. They said, and Mrs. Andy and Nicole. So we're just going to say it. Andy and Nicole Harris. Stand up, please. Thank you. Great. Thank you. A man who is, I hope he's here because he's so busy, but a man who is a true champion, NCAA champion for numerous years. Like, I'm not sure he ever lost a match. Somebody said he's like 141-1, but that's not bad. Jim Jordan, where is he? Jim Jordan. Where's Jim? He is, thanks, Jim, thanks. Great champion. Mike Kelly, I watched him the other day. He was debating Maxine Waters. That was not a close debate. That was not a close debate, Mike. They should all be so easy, right, Mike? Congressman Steve King. Do you think Steve is conservative enough? Where is Steve? Hi, Steve. Is Steve conservative enough, folks? I don't know. You don't get more conservative than Steve, right? Thank you, Steve. Congressman Joe Lesko and Debbie, Mrs. Lesko. Where are you? Thank you, folks. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you. Dan Lipinski. Thanks, Dan. Keith Rothfuss. Good person. Thank you, Keith. Great job. Great job you're doing. Oh, this man's Central Casting. I watch him all the time. Don't know him well, but I'll get to know him. John Rutherford. Where is he, John? Central Casting. Great job, John. He's always defending me. Actually, most of you are always defending me, and that's okay. And from my neck of the woods, Claudia Tenney. Thank you, Claudia. Thank you. And for those many that I've left out, I'm sorry, but I said, give me a totally complete list, and I will call you tomorrow, and I will apologize personally, all right? But every day between now and November, we must work together to elect more lawmakers who share our values, cherish our heritage, and proudly stand for life. And that is a great group of people I introduced, I can tell you that. We're also glad to be joined by a beloved member of my administration, a true fighter for faith and family, and your 2018 Distinguished Leader, Kellyanne Conway. Kellyanne. What a job. What a job she's done. She is some fighter. She'll do the shows that nobody else dares go near. I'll say, do this one or that one. No problem, sir. Others say, sir, do you think I could take a pass, please? I beg you, please. Great going, Kellyanne. Thank you. What a help. What a help. Finally, to all of the friends, activists, and supporters of the Life movement who are here this evening, so many. This was a record crowd. Your hard work helped us to achieve this historic victory, our historic victory, one of the great victories of all time in politics. That beautiful, beautiful evening, November. Remember that evening? Could it have been more beautiful? 2016. That November 8th. 2016. On the other side, you had some very unhappy campers. I get to watch. They were not happy. They were going to have a big, beautiful party. Didn't turn out to be such a good party. Now, for the first time since Roe v. Wade, America has a pro-life president, a pro-life vice president, a pro-life House of Representatives, and 25 pro-life Republican state capitals. That is pretty good. That is pretty good. Wow. That is pretty good. When I ran for office, I pledged to stand for life. And as president, that's exactly what I've done. And I have kept my promise, and I think everybody here understands that fully. One of my very first acts as president was to reinstate the Mexico City policy to prevent taxpayer dollars from funding abortion centers overseas. It's a little reminiscent of Ronald Reagan. A few months later, with Marjorie in the Oval Office, she was sitting there with us, and she stood then and signed legislation to overturn the rule that forced states to fund abortion providers with taxpayer dollars. Marjorie was there with me. We've appointed a record number of judges who will defend our Constitution and interpret the law as written. And we're putting onto the bench a record number of judges. And in a short period of time, we were going to have and are going to have probably the all-time record for the appointment of judges. And I'm very excited about that. My administration has also taken bold action to protect religious liberty. And today we are making another historic announcement. For decades, American taxpayers have been wrongfully forced to subsidize the abortion industry through Title X federal funding. So today, we have kept another promise. My administration has proposed a new rule to prohibit Title X funding from going to any clinic that performs abortions. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. We're also seeking passage of the 20-week abortion bill, which would end painful late-term abortions nationwide. The House just passed the bill, but Democrats in the Senate are doing everything within their power to block it, although some are actually on our side, but they are working overtime to block it. So the story is 18 midterms. We need Republicans, and that will happen. On this issue, like so many other issues, the Democratic Party is far outside the American mainstream. Far outside. The United States is one of only 7 countries in the world to allow elective abortions after 20 weeks, when unborn babies can truly feel the pain. Yet, Democratic senators like John Tester, Heidi Heitkamp, Claire McCaskill, Debbie Stabenow, all voted against the 20-week bill and in favor of late-term abortion. Got to get out and vote. We are 9 votes away from passing the 20-week abortion bill in the Senate, so we have to get them out there. The Democratic senators are up for re-election in 10 states that I won by a lot. And I think we're doing very well. We have some of those folks that are running right now, and they're doing very, very well. We have a big, big surprise in 6 months. Big, beautiful surprise. If we work hard between now and November, every one of these states can be flipped to a senator who shares our values and votes our agenda. Democrats like to campaign as moderates at election time, but when they go to Washington, they always vote for the radical Pelosi agenda down the line. Can you imagine having Nancy Pelosi as the Speaker of the House? Can you imagine? No, can you imagine? That's why we're putting in place a massive campaign for a midterm victory this November. We will need to elect more members of Congress who will protect life, support our military, secure our borders, and grow our economy, and continue making America great again. While Democrats in Washington are resisting progress, my administration is delivering progress for hardworking Americans each and every day, and we're doing some job. Since the election, we have created more than 3.3 million new jobs. And if I would have said that prior to the election, those people back there, you know who that is, right? That's called the fake news, fake news. They would have said, what a ridiculous statement. He's saying he's going to project 3.3 million new jobs. How ridiculous is that? Well, guess what? We did it. fake news. Something I'm very proud of. African American unemployment is at the lowest level in history. Hispanic unemployment is likewise at the lowest level in history. Women unemployment is at the lowest level in 19 years. And something you haven't heard for 21 years, wages are rising at the fastest pace in more than time. They said 21. I did hear 19. I have to be very accurate with these folks. Let's put it this way. Wages are rising at a very fast level. Very fast. Got to be very careful. You know, when you say something, if it's like a little off, if I was off by a week and a half, it's a headline tomorrow. We got him now. Something very important, small business optimism, is the highest that it's ever been, ever recorded. And our great House Ways and Means Chairman, Kevin Brady, joins us tonight, has done an incredible job. Thank you, Kevin. With his leadership, Republicans passed the biggest tax cut and reform in American history. And we doubled the child tax credit. And we're going to be, with Kevin and the entire group, we're going to be submitting additional tax cuts sometime prior to November. It's going to be something very special. You see what it's done for the country. It's going to be something very, very special. And by the way, Nancy Pelosi and the group, you heard her the other day. She wants to raise your taxes. They want to get rid of the tax cut bill and raise your taxes. Somehow, I don't think that plays well, but you never know, right? Wants to raise your taxes. And my presidential budget was the first in history to include a proposal for nationwide paid family leave. Good, Steve. Good. We want to honor the invaluable time parents spend with their newborn children. On foreign affairs, you've been reading a lot about foreign affairs. We're getting very high marks on foreign affairs, actually. We are, as a country, respected again. It's been a long time. Because we've restored American strength and confidence. Our military, and we just had it approved, $700 billion. It's historic funding for our great military. $700 billion. And we have left the horrible, one-sided, miserable Iran deal. It's gone. One of the worst deals ever negotiated. We get nothing. We get nothing. We've moved our embassy to Jerusalem. Thank you. Thank you. And we are renegotiating trade deals to bring jobs and wealth back home to America where they and it belongs. Working hard on the trade deals. But if Democrats gain power, they will try to reverse these incredible gains. These are historic gains. They will try and reverse many of them. So your vote in 2018 is every bit as important as your vote in 2016. Although I'm not sure I really believe that, but you know. I don't know who the hell wrote that line. I'm not sure. But it's still important, remember that. That's why we will be campaigning for every last vote in every part of our great country. We will be campaigning for the votes of all Americans, whether they're registered as Democrats, and we got a lot of Democrats voting for us, as you know, in 2016. A lot. They couldn't believe it. They could not believe it. We got a lot of Barack Obama voters voting for us. We got a lot of Bernie Sanders voting for us. Can you believe it? Mostly people that didn't like getting ripped off on trade, Bernie Sanders voters. He was right about that, but he wasn't able to do anything about it. These are people that want a government that protects faith, family, and life. To support Republican candidates, I have helped raise a record-breaking $175 million for the Republican National Committee. Nobody has ever been close. And as part of our unprecedented effort, our great vice president, a true leader in the pro-life movement, Mike has been a true leader, has been working to elect more and more Republicans. We will be appealing to voters all across America who previously sent a Democrat to Washington only to discover they elected a proxy vote for Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi. These are people that don't believe in borders, don't believe in fighting crime, don't believe in making a strong military. They don't believe in what the people in this room believe, that I can tell you. So we have to do a great job. If Democrats ever gained power, they would try to put up the taxes, so many things, open those borders. They don't want walls. They don't want people stopping. And the other day, just the other day, Nancy Pelosi came out in favor of MS-13. That's the first time I've heard that. She wants them to be treated with respect, as do other Democrats. That's not going to be happening. We're not going to release violent criminals into our country. We're going to shut down everything we have to shut down, and we're going to open up the great American energy. We are going to open up our energy, and in all fairness, that's already happened. We are now a net exporter of energy for the first time. And we all know what a Democratic majority would mean, especially for the people in this room on the Supreme Court. These are the stakes on Election Day, and this is why you need to fight for victory in November. We can't be complacent. What happens historically, a tremendous percentage of the time, you win the presidential election, you become complacent. You're happy. Oh, we won. Isn't it wonderful? Then you have another election comes up pretty quickly. 2 years, all of these congressmen can tell you. See, the senators, they like their term a little bit better. How about changing some of them to 2 years, too? I don't think it's going to be. That would be a tough vote in the Senate, wouldn't it? But all of a sudden, you come up again. And they get complacent. They say, oh, we just won. So we sit back. The other side has energy. and they win. It's a tremendous percentage of the time. I honestly don't believe that's going to happen this time, and it's starting to show up in the polls. Really don't believe it. Every values voter must be energized, mobilized, and engaged. You have to get out there. This organization bears the name of one of the greatest champions of freedom in American history, Susan B. Anthony. She fought for decades to end slavery, to secure women's right to vote, and to respect the dignity of every single person. A great person, a great woman was she. Now we have a chance to honor her legacy and restore the first right in the Declaration of Independence. It's called the right to life. Here with us this evening are Lisa and Bruce Alexander and their family from Gaithersburg, Maryland. Good place. In January of 2012, the Alexanders attended the March for Life, and God put it in their hearts to adopt a beautiful child. 2 years later, in January of 2014, the Alexanders got a call that a baby had been born who was opioid dependent. She desperately needed a loving home. She was in serious, serious trouble. And the Alexanders welcomed her into their home with wide open arms. After the baby was treated for opioid withdrawal, they brought home their new and very beautiful daughter, Catherine. Hi, Catherine. Hi. Hi, sweetie. Come on up here, Catherine. Come on. Catherine's 4 years old, and she is full of incredible energy, spirit, and talent. At the age of 2, come on up, Catherine, she memorized America the Beautiful. She recites poetry, and recently she announced to her dad that when she grows up, she wants to be a famous police officer, and then, when she gets tired of that, she wants to become president. That's okay with her. She'll be president someday. Every time Catherine's older siblings come home from school, Catherine runs into their arms and gives them a great, big, beautiful hug. They're amazed by how much she loves them and how much they love her. So tonight, we celebrate you, Catherine. We celebrate your life. Thank you, darling. And we celebrate all lives. We celebrate the loving choice of adoption. Catherine reminds us that every life is sacred and that every child is a precious gift from God. So true. As the Lord says in Jeremiah, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. When a mother and a father hold a new baby in their arms, they are changed forever. When a child says, Mommy or Daddy, for the first time, There's nothing like it. Anywhere in the world, no matter what you do, there is nothing like it. And when parents watch their children thrive and grow, they're filled with a joy beyond words and a love beyond measure. You know that, everybody in this room. When we look into the eyes of a newborn child, there is no doubt we see the beauty of the human soul and the mystery of God's great creation. We know that every life has meaning and that every life is totally worth protecting. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. When we stand for life, we stand for the true source of America's greatness. It's our people. Our people are great. It's the people who grace our lives, who sustain our communities, and who make America a nation, a home, and this magnificent land that we all love so much. As long as we have faith in our citizens, confidence in our values, and trust in our God, then we will never, ever fail. Our nation will thrive, our people will prosper, and America will be greater than ever before. And that's what's happening. So this November, vote for family, vote for love, vote for faith and values, vote for country, and vote for life. I want to just end by thanking the Susan B. Anthony list. You are very, very special people. It is a great honor for me to be here tonight. Thank you to everyone. Thank you to Life and Liberty. God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You have been listening to President Trump's remarks at the Susan B. Anthony List 11th Annual Campaign for Life Gala. I am RSBN CEO Joe Seals, and apparently now I'm an anchor too. I've been forced into this position, but I love it. I'm having fun. I'm here with my co-host and my partner in crime, Tara Broderick, who's live at the RSBN Studio B in Birmingham, Alabama. Hi, Tara. How did you like this speech?
I mean, wow. Hi, everyone. Absolutely loved it. It was great. I think it was very emotional. Like, I don't know if any of you are at home were feeling the feels like I was when he brought Catherine up, but that was very emotional. And I love how he started the speech, you know, just stating some facts, stating what he's done so far for pro-life. And then he related it back when he brought up Catherine to an emotional level for people at home to really be able to connect and realize, I mean, even if you don't have kids, like, this is what you could have. And he talked about her running home, and I think it was great how he brought it full circle for everyone.
Yeah, you know, President Trump, and I'll say this, President Trump is a genius. And me and Tara were talking about this a little bit during the speech, which is that, you know, he goes to these speeches and where most presidents and most people would give remarks that, you know, 10, 15 minutes or so, he turns these things into little mini campaign rallies. And you know, I know he loves doing it. I know he loves getting out and speaking in front of the people. But he knows that the major news networks are, for the most part, they're forced to cover these things, and he gets all this free airtime. It's just brilliant. It's brilliant because he's getting back at the mainstream media for their unfair coverage of him, and he's getting in all this free airtime. It's absolutely brilliant and genius. And we here at RSBN, I don't know. I know Fox showed the speech. I was watching Fox here on the big monitor up here, but I don't know about CNN or any of those others. I know CNN had just said not too long ago, Don Lemon said they were going to stop carrying the presidential rallies live. Well, they might not carry it, but we certainly will carry everything President Trump does here, and you'll get to see the remarks in their entirety.
Yeah, no, like Joe was saying, he is a genius for doing this. And if you notice, the way he started off, he congratulated people and thanked people, and he went into talking about the Mexico City policy. He talked about having an all-time record for appointment of judges that are pro-life, and then he announced their decision today to prohibit funding for any clinic that funds abortions. He went through this whole list, and then all of a sudden you saw it just switch into like a mini rally. Like it was like a little mini rally. I don't know. It was very cool. And he started talking about the new jobs. He's created 3.3 million jobs since election. Hispanic unemployment is at its lowest level in history. Women unemployment is at its lowest level in 19 years. He talked about wages rising very fast. Of course, he didn't give a exact like time frame because he didn't want the media to change his words around and say he didn't know and everything. He talked about small businesses growing. He talked about the biggest tax cut and reform in American history. I mean, he just went on, and it was great because it got me really excited for the rally that he's going to do. We're going to be at in
the
Nashville
list really
on
does
Tuesday.
go on and on of his accomplishments, and that's one thing that that's why that's why RSBN exists, because watching the mainstream media, you wouldn't know. You'd think that all that was going on was the Russia investigation. And so we want to highlight what the Trump administration has done. Whether you like him or not, you should cover these things and report the facts fairly. Whether you like him or not, you got to report the facts fairly. That's what journalism is all about. There are no real journalists left anymore in America, except for there are a select few. But we here at RSBN pride ourselves in bringing you the entire truth and showing you, since we've done for the last 3 years now, the entire context of what's being said, showing you the entire crowds at the rallies, which brings me into Tuesday of next week, a rally in Nashville, Tennessee. We will be sending a full crew there to cover President Trump. We have my co-host here on the right, who will be there, as well as Tom O'Neill and our new hire, Alyssa Ash. And then we also have the veteran of the group, Liz Willis, and Aaron Pengio, our cameraman. It's going to be a fun time in Nashville, Tara.
I'm very excited. Like I said before, this just got me even more pumped for the rally in Nashville. And like Joe was saying, we can't do it without your support and your donations. And so I just want to mention a couple people donated during the speech, and I want to thank Hank Donegan. He donated and he said, "Thanks for making these events available on YouTube." And then Lynn Jean said, "Matching Hank's donation." So that means so much to us at RSBN. It helps us go to these events. And if you missed our stream earlier during the day where we talked about everything that RSBN is going to be doing, and of course our new hire, Alyssa, and just all the exciting things we have happening, the more support we have, the more we can do. So like everyone loves seeing the rallies that we do and seeing the full speech, the full crowd, the signs, the interviews before, the interviews after. Everyone loves that. So just imagine when we have even more support, like all we can go to, more than the rallies. And it's just really exciting
I've said it a million times, but I'll say it again, is that we would not be here without your support. And I hate to keep, talking about that, and we hate to always have to ask for donations, but the plain and simple fact is that we've been on the front lines for you, and we've been here since the very beginning of the Trump campaign. We partner with the Trump campaign. We helped him reach over 300 million viewers. And, unlike a lot of YouTube channels where you may have seen Trump speeches before, we actually go to the events. We spend thousands of dollars going to these events. We don't have big advertisers or anybody backing us with lots of money. So it's just us and you. And that's the way we've done it since the beginning. And that's the way we're going to continue to do it. We are viewer supported, and that means that we answer to you, and so we take feedback from you, and we take all that seriously. So your support means the world to us. Every penny of your support goes to funding this network and our operations, our travel costs. And Miss Tara's got to eat here. I mean, these people work their butts off for me, and so we're in our beginning stages. But there's lots of stuff coming here to RSBN. You're going to see a lot more original programming coming. We found a format now that will work. I will be joining Tara on air as much as possible. We're going to cover breaking news, and we'll be on the air a lot more. We will be on the air as soon as breaking news hits. We will be ready for you. From the beginning, but I'm only going to mention it one more time this broadcast because I don't like to continue doing it, but I appreciate y'all so much. Tara, if they want to support us and help us to do things like go to the national rally, how can they do it?
So if you're in the YouTube chat, you can go down to the bottom and click the $, and that's probably the easiest way to donate. Or you can go to rsbnetwork.com/donate, or you can be a monthly donator by going to patreon.com/RSBN. And I know we asked for donations because we are viewer supported, but Joe, do you want to explain to the people maybe who are just joining or don't understand how YouTube started censoring what we do?
Back during the 2016 campaign, we covered all of the president's rallies. We attended a lot of them. We worked directly with his campaign. Things were going really well for us. We were top dogs on YouTube. I mean, if you had ever watched the Trump speech on YouTube, you had seen RSBN and you knew who we were. We were a household name among Trump supporters for a while there, and things were going really well. After inauguration, though, things took a turn to the worst for us when YouTube started doing funny things to us. And I know this probably sounds like conspiracy theory stuff, but it's not. There's plenty of stories out there that's happening to other conservative YouTube channels and conservative companies. But we had things happen to us. Our videos are buried in search results. You can't find our videos unless you actually search for RSBN. If you just try searching for Trump speech or something like that, we're buried down towards the end. And instead you have all these fake YouTube channels who pretend to be real companies, but they're really not. They're just people sitting at home stealing feeds from other people. They get the top search results. We get the very bottom search results. I think that's because we are a threat. And I think that's because Media Matters came out in I think it was December of 2016 after Trump won, and we were listed as one of the 5 outlets that were posed to be a mouthpiece for the Trump administration, and along with Breitbart and a couple of others. And I think they pegged us that way. And I think YouTube started doing things like I said, censoring us in the search results, demonetizing our videos, making it impossible for us to earn ad revenue, things like that. And you remember when Steve was with us, we had the black screens come up all the time and interrupting our broadcast. I mean, there's just a laundry list of things that I could talk about. I won't get into all the other stuff that they've done to us, but it's really made it hard for us to even exist as we are now. But because of your support, we've found a way to do it, and we certainly do appreciate all of that support. It means the world to us, and we are here for you, and we are going to continue to improve. All this stuff that you're seeing now is just the beginning. We are growing, and we are going to shock you guys at the stuff that we've been working on, and you're going to love it. And Tara is doing a fantastic job. Alyssa, our new hire, is going to be amazing. I'm working on other people too. We've got morning shows in the workups. We've got nightly newscasts in the workup. So there's lots of stuff coming, so stay tuned. You don't want to miss it.
Yeah, no, that's just absolutely insane what YouTube has started doing to RSBN. I'd love to have a word with them, but whatever. That sounds like a very good investigative piece to figure out why they're censoring, more Republican companies and why they started doing this. I mean, it makes sense for them to not censor us before President Trump got elected because they were obviously getting views off that. Everyone's searching for President Trump, and then after he got elected, everything went downhill. But we do have integrity here at RSBN, and we are pushing forward. And if any of you have heard Joe Seals come on before and talk about it, we do not give up. It's one thing I love about this company. No matter what happens, we're still going to keep coming through. And I think as long as we stay true to our values, right. I mean, we're eventually going to come out on top. So I don't think there's anything that YouTube can do or anyone, any news outlet or whatever can say or do to stop RSBN from being the successful company that we are. And like Joe said about new shows we have coming up, I don't know if you watched our cast earlier, but we do have a morning show that's going to be starting and an afternoon show, just kind of like a here's what you missed, here's some news that happened during the day, just to run through some bullet points, just to give everyone more news, stuff that maybe we couldn't go live about because there weren't a lot of facts about it, just short news stories. And so what we want is viewer feedback. And so if you think that's a good idea, let us know, send us comments. And if you have an idea for the name of the show, let us know, because we have yet to name it. I really want to name it. I'm excited about it.
Absolutely.
We have a lot going on.
And for those of you who are asking right now, we are still going to continue the tradition of reading viewer feedback online. We are still going to allow you to help us cover the news. We have not deviated from that one bit. We are still sort of trying to get you see the new graphics package we have and everything like that. We're still trying to sort of get everything worked up in our systems to where we can show you that. But I expect the next broadcast that we do, we will also be reading viewer comments and things online from Twitter. If you want to follow RSBN on Twitter, you can do it at RSB Network. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can follow me at Joe Seals. That's SEALES. And Tara, how can they find you?
You can find me at Tara RSBN. That's TERA RSBN. I don't know if I really have much more to say about it. Joe,
well, I just want to say that I think that tonight's showing at this event by President Trump shows, clearly shows that he is true. He's true to his word. His campaign promises. He has been making good on those one after the other. And a lot of conservatives, doubted him that he would be pro-life because of his history of, he used to be pro-choice and things like that. But he said his views had evolved, he had changed, and that he is now 100% pro-life. And the actions since he's been in office has only proved that 100 times over. And he has been such a wonderful president to the pro-life movement. And I think conservatives everywhere are very proud of him for taking such a strong stance and doing things like this and being so vocal and supportive for the pro-life movement. It really has been a really cool thing to watch. I think he's probably the most pro-life president we've ever had to this point, the things that he's done for the movement. So it's great, and I think that's going to win him a lot of support from people who were never Trumpers during the 2016 campaign, who thought that he wasn't a real conservative. Now they see the things that he's doing, and now they're going to come out of the woodworks and they're going to vote for him. So that's pretty much all I've got, Tara, unless you have any closing remarks.
Yeah, no, he touched on that during his speech. He said people who weren't Republicans have become Republicans because of him. And I think it's great too, like you were saying, that he had such an open mind about this. He was pro-choice, and then he was able to change to pro-life, and now he's done all these amazing things for our country, and he's going to continue to do amazing things. I mean, I literally have a list here tapped up like this long on my computer of things he talked about that he's done just since he's been elected. So I think he's just going to continue to doing great things, and he's going to keep his promises that he said he would do.
Absolutely. And one final note for those asking. And again, it's not the most horrible in the world. My audio will be fixed next week. I'm getting a professional sound system installed in here, like Miss Tara has at her house, but I'm using a USB microphone right now, so apologies for the poor quality if it is, but I think you could hear me good enough. But we're going to be redoing all this stuff back here, make it look like more of a studio, make it aesthetically pleasing to the eye, and I think you'll love it. My wife's really talented, and she likes to build stuff, so she's going to build me a little mini set here. Tara's seen some of her work; she can vouch for that. So.
No, she's awesome. She's like, you know how people, you get on Pinterest, I don't want to go off on a rant here, but you get on Pinterest and you see all this cool stuff, then you try to do it, and then it never turns out like the way you want it to. She's one of those people that can recreate anything, and like their house is so pretty. I wish everyone could see it, and all the stuff that she's done. They have this, I don't know, I'm going to go off on a rant on it, but she's going to make behind Joe look very,
so we'll
very
continue
nice
to improve. Things will continue to improve. Oh, and we're sorry for that hot mic we had for about a minute into the speech. Again, we're learning as we go. I'm trying to do a lot of things at once. I'm multitasking here.
I know.
Not exactly my specialty, so bear with us.
I thought Joe turned off the mic, and Joe thought I turned off the mic. And what y'all are hearing, I was actually on the phone with Joe. Like, we had just pulled up the speech. I was on the phone with him, and then it just started blowing up, hot mic, hot mic. I was like, oh no, I didn't turn it off. And he's like, I didn't either, but it's fine. We're learning as we go.
Yeah, we'll try not to let that happen again, folks. But anyway, we're going to sign off now. Thank you for all your support. We'll be seeing a lot more of you in the coming days and weeks. And for Tara Broderick and all of us here at RSBN, y'all have a good night. God bless, and we'll see you soon.